My name is Jacob French, and in the fall I will be attending RIT to study filmmaking. For as long as I can remember, filmmaking has been a serious passion of mine. In fact, I've been making films since I was about 6 years old. I started by making stop-motion animations, but quickly found I lacked the patience. Instead, I turned to live-action films. I became completely obsessed with making films, usually by myself or with my younger brother, who usually didn't share my enthusiasm for it. At first, these films were unwatchable at best.
How am I supposed to transport myself to the real world using this tiny portal?
But over time, I began to develop a skill set, and I continued to improve. I would watch behind-the-scenes documentaries with just as much interest as the films themselves, and try and pick up any techniques that I could replicate on the tiny budget I had. I remember green screen being a particularly big discovery for me. In about 6th grade, I started actually writing scripts for my films, as opposed to just making up dialogue on the spot. Around this time, I also started to rope my friends into helping me, which led to a much more collaborative experience. My films continued to improve as I grew up and began to apply both my growing arsenal of film gear, as well as the life experience I was accumulating. The biggest milestone for me came in January of 2020, when I premiered my film The Scrapbook to a sold-out theater. I learned a lot through just the planning of that event, and all that work paid off with the incredible response the audience had to the film. At this point in my life, I've made over 300 films, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. There's so many things I love about filmmaking. I love the chance to be creative. I love telling stories. I love it when everything goes right. And I also love it when everything goes wrong and I have to improvise.
Yes!
I especially love making films that can affect an audience, whether that be by making them laugh, or cry, or just think. It's interesting to see how my films document my childhood in a way. Through all these stories I was creating, I can relive the very real experiences that inspired them. I wouldn't say there was a particular moment that I decided I wanted to be a filmmaker as a career. It was just kind of always a given to me. If I'm being completely honest, some of the specifics of how I'm going to support myself through filmmaking have been slightly troubling to me more recently. However, although I may not know exactly where my path will lead and what turns it will take, I know that I'll find a way to make it work, because when you're as passionate about something as I am about filmmaking, there's no other choice.